and better into Jersey. It's still okay. Not bad at the Lincoln or Holland tunnels. We do have delays on the outbound Brooklyn Bridge starting to back up with roving repairs closing a lane. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. Quiet in Nassau County now along the LIE. Still no trouble spots in the northern or southern states. In New Jersey, backing up on westbound 280 from exit 16 through 15 in Newark with 2 lanes of construction. Also bumper to bumper on Route 3 now both ways, pretty much between Route 17 and the western spur of the Turnpike. We've got construction work here, a couple lanes down each way. Again, a big backup there right now. Kelly Dillon, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Tragedy and some terrifying and fatal moments tonight on Amsterdam Avenue near Columbia University. Here's 1010 Wins reporter Amanda Alexander.
It's a well-known hangout spot to folks in the area. That's where they play dominoes, laugh, and cut each other's hair.
It's the only area that's not totally gentrified where people can hang out and it feels like the neighborhood.
That man, a resident. Now police say the driver, intoxicated and speeding down Amsterdam Avenue Friday evening. Jamie says she heard it all from her apartment.
Heard someone shouting, "Why aren't the paramedics here? Why aren't the ambulance here?" So then I called 911, put on my shoes, went downstairs.
And it's an image she won't forget.
It just, 2 people laying on the ground was very disturbing.
Yeah, now police say that driver killed 2 people, 4 more taken to the hospital, including the driver. Amanda Alexander, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on the Upper West Side.
We are still looking at the prospect of a Long Island Railroad strike at midnight. Negotiations did resume today. If there is a strike, MTA says shuttle buses will run between the Ronkonkoma and Huntington Long Island Railroad stations and the Jamaica 179th Street subway stop in Queens, where commuters can take the F train into Manhattan. Buses will also run from the Bayshore, Hicksville, and Mineola stations, as well as Hempstead Lake State Park. These shuttles will go to Howard Beach JFK Airport subway station, where the commuters can take the A train. Shuttle buses will run during peak hours toward Manhattan from 4:30 to 9 a.m. and to Long Island from 3 to 7 p.m. Nassau County commuters also can use the NICE bus to connect to Flushing Main Street to catch the 7 train or to the Jamaica Bus Terminal in Queens, which is a short walk away from the F train. The ramifications are many, including around Penn Station.
If LIRR workers go on strike over the weekend, it won't just be a pain for commuters. Business owners are also concerned.
If we feel less people, we worry about that.
This traffic, it's hurt the business, like, retailer.
Mahmoud works at the Halal Cart on the corner of 31st Street.
Every business is down. Let her down more. I don't know what's going on.
Sharon works at Dazzle Nails and says many of her customers come from Long Island.
So if nobody stop by, then we're gonna know business process not. We don't want that happen.
The unions representing LIRR workers say negotiations are continuing. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM at Penn Station.
And stay with 1010 Wins for the very latest on a potential strike. We have 62 degrees in Midtown. Now, Bloomberg Money Watch.
Oil prices higher again today, closing above $105 a barrel, fueling worries about inflation moving higher. And that sent stocks sharply lower today. All the major averages down between 1 and 1.5%. The Dow tumbling 537 points. The Nasdaq down 410. The S&P lower by 93 points. And Starbucks, whose CEO made $96 million in just the last 4 months of last year, is cutting more jobs, 300 corporate positions, and it'll close regional offices in Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, and Burbank, California. I'm Tom Busby. Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
1010 Wins.
Consistent, credible, reliable.
Straight and to the point.
Everything you need to know.
1010 Wins.
All news, all the time.
On 92.3 FM.
Welcome to 215 Maple Drive. We just put this property on the market.
Love the crown molding.
Oh, wait until you see the walk-in closets and the bathroom tile.
Does it have Verizon Fios? 100% fiber internet?
No Fios, but it looks like it's got cable. Let's check out the kitchen.
No Fios? Yeah, no thank you.
Don't you want to see the rest? Okay, bye-bye.
Get Verizon Fios, because when you're moving, it's 100% or nothing.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill. Now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
From tutoring students to planting gardens, New York Cares makes a difference every day. Be the change your city needs. Sign up to volunteer at nycares.org. Quick check of AccuWeather. We're looking at 62 degrees in Midtown, getting down to a low of 55 in the city, 40s in the suburbs overnight. Tomorrow, pleasant and warmer with a bit of sunshine and a high of 78. Good evening. I'm Bud Mishkin. Wins News Time at the Tone, 10:30.
Good evening. I'm Mario Bosquez. Pick up your dogs. You know what? That's a message from council trying to pass new legislation. They're joined in the effort by four-pod politicians, too.
If you were outside at all after one of those 2 big snowstorms this winter, you saw it.
You certainly did, especially once the ground's stark white. You look around, you see a lot of it. So I think it had never been more clear to me than after that snowstorm.
That people are not picking up after their dogs. 821 complaints to 311 about it in the first 2 months of the year. New legislation from Council Speaker Julie Menon would install dog poop bag dispensers at every garbage can in the city.
So many dog owners say, oh, I forgot the bag at home, or I needed a second bag, I didn't have it, and it would be a constant reminder.
She acknowledges there's been little to no enforcement. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
To promote the bill, Maxine the Fluffy Corgi was appointed by Speaker Menon as first ever dog speaker. Will serve as an honorary co-sponsor. City's dog mayor Simon, deputy dog mayor Pepper also agreed to serve as honorary co-sponsors. Wednesday time 10:31. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
We'll start with LIRR right now. Service at Penn Station is quite limited tonight. Still ongoing repairs because of yesterday's fire at Penn Station. So majority of trains tonight are diverted to and from Grand Central. Subways are cross-honoring. And of course, a reminder again that LIRR may strike starting at 12:01 Saturday morning. So do stay tuned to 1010 Win so we can get you where you need to go. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Big backup at the inbound George. Construction on the upper deck. 2 lanes are out tonight. Half-hour wait. Go with the lower level instead. Not too bad if you're heading into Jersey. Fairly quiet at both the Lincoln and Holland. In New Jersey, just a huge mess on the Garden State Parkway both ways into Route 3. 153, exit 153 in Clifton. There's at least 2 lanes down with construction each way here and traffic at a dead stop. The northbound New Jersey Turnpike Western Spur, very busy. 15W through 16W tonight with road work. So if you can, the Eastern Spur, that will be the way to go instead. Also, a big backup on the westbound BQE from the Williamsburg through Cadman Plaza in Brooklyn tonight. Overnight construction here that takes out at least a couple lanes. Kelly Dillon, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Every day we fight to preserve wildlife, to keep our water and air safe, to advance clean energy and combat climate change. We're Earth Justice, a national legal nonprofit fighting for your right to a healthy environment. Want to join us in this fight? Go to earthjustice.org.
Let's get a check of the AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Brian Thompson.
The sky will be clearing out as we head through tonight. Low 55 in the city. It'll be in the 40s in some suburbs. Just a really nice day tomorrow to start off the weekend. It'll be noticeably warmer with a good deal of sunshine. Will be a bit of a breeze in the afternoon. We'll have a high of 78. The humidity is going to be very low throughout the day. Partly to mostly cloudy. Not quite as cool tomorrow night. Perhaps a thunder shower, especially north and west of the city with a low of 67. And very warm on Sunday. Even a little more humid with more sun than clouds. Sunday's high about 86, and we'll have a good deal of sunshine, it looks like, into Monday. High close to 80 in the city. It will be near 90 inland, but where there is an onshore flow at some beaches Monday, temperatures may struggle to get out of the 60s. We'll be heating up Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Accident victims, this is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. What do you think matters most when you have to hire the right lawyer? Experience? Well, I've been doing this for 35 years, and I've handled tens of thousands of cases and recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for people just like you. To me, what matters most is that I actually care. I'm going to make sure you have a say in what happens with your case. You, me, and our entire team of over 50 trained professionals are going to fight together to get you every dollar you deserve. Because for me, it's personal. Your pain has a price, and we're going to make sure the insurance company pays. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, and we'll come to you 24/7. So give me a call today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24, and ask for me, John D'Agostino. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
An announcement from City Hall today that fiscal year 2027 executive budget permanently baselines over $31 million for the city's library systems. Mayor Mamdani.
Instead of pouring their energy into funding fights, libraries can now use this time and funding to actually hire staff, expand hours, and grow programming. They can start to plan on more than simply an annual basis, but beyond that. They can use it to stock in-demand titles like Fourth Wing, Zodiac Academy, or the new Ben Lerner, if you're more of that type of guy.
From a library press conference in Brooklyn, a new push from progressive lawmakers on a council bill that would give nonprofits a head start in buying distressed apartment buildings. Councilmember Sandy Nurse reintroducing the Community Opportunity to Purchase Act, or COPA, after it was vetoed last council session. Proving controversial, however, with Councilmember Simca Felder voting against in the last session, saying it should be left on the open market. Nurse narrowing this time the scope of the buildings that will be covered. On this China trip, seeding speculation about a rose garden.
Who knew he was a fan?
These are the most beautiful roses anyone's ever seen. I asked the president, could you get me some for the rose garden? And he said yes.
Before he left Beijing, President Trump was taken aback by the pink, yellow, and red flowers on a walk with Xi Jinping through the pristine Zhongnanhai Garden in the city's top secret leadership compound.
I've never seen roses so big.
Though Mr. Trump paved over the lawn of Jacqueline Kennedy's beloved White House rose garden, he did leave blooms around the perimeter. He says Xi has promised to send him seeds from China's prized roses. Deborah Rodriguez for 1010 Wins.
Recall of a popular eczema cream over a potential possibly fatal staph bacteria. The nation recall is for multi-symptom treatment cream skin protectant from Pharmacal, says a company announcement published by the FDA. 1010 Wins Entertainment is next. John Travolta surprised getting chills over a major award.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-777-1979, 800-777-1979, or biglou.com.
Lightning strikes for John Travolta. A major reward surprise at Cannes with an honorary Palme d'Or, calling it beyond the Oscar. All this ahead of the world premiere of his directorial debut, Propeller One-Way Night Coach.
I love you so.
Positive previews money-wise for Curry Baker's romantic horror movie Obsession. Over $2.5 million in previews for Thursday, Wednesday showings. Backing up, going on tour with a version of Broadway's Tony-nominated Lost Boys. Spring 2028, first stop Cleveland, no word yet on casting.
Entertainment on 1010 Wins is sponsored by Shulman & Hill, New York's injury lawyers.
Go to hurtny.com.
That's hurtny.com.
Right now, with the Jeep Declaration of Deals, we're pledging our allegiance to the American people with great deals on the luxurious Grand Cherokee, with available 3-row seating, premium craftsmanship, and technology that turns every drive into an adventure. Or the Jeep Wrangler, with legendary 4x4 capability and the same open-air freedom you've come to know and love. The Declaration of Deals is our pledge to the brave and the free, because freedom deserves the vehicle built to carry it. There's only one USA, and there's only one most awarded SUV brand. Jeep, there's only one. Hurry into your local dealer for the Jeep Declaration of Deals, where right now, well-qualified current Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE or Wrangler 4xE lessees get an ultra-low mileage lease on the 2026 Jeep Wrangler 4-Door Sport S for $299 a month for 36 months with $3,219 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Jeep has won more awards over its lifetime than any other SUV brand. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Current vehicle must be registered to consumer at least 30 days prior to lease. Extra charge for miles over 22,500. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/1. Jeep is a registered trademark.
A potential LIRR strike means a transformed commute for all of Long Island. Stay with the only station providing 24/7 coverage. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good evening, 62 degrees at 10:40. I'm Mario Bosquez. Here's what's happening. Tragedy on the streets on the Upper West Side. 2 people killed when an out-of-control vehicle slams into pedestrians and cars.
We are using 6 Long Island Railroad stations to do pickup and drop-off.
Hammering out contingency plans amid a nervous, intensifying countdown to a possible LIRR strike. 1 life loss, a man 71 trapped in a Queens house fire today. Is the U.S. moving to indict Cuba's Raul Castro? Did someone shell out $9 million for lunch with a billionaire and a basketball player? It's all in the names. Yanks win. The Mets lose. Wins News Time 1041. Let's get you where you need to go. And here is Kelly Dillon.
LIRR still limited to a service tonight at Penn Station, mainly all trains going to and from Grand Central. Again, ongoing repairs at Penn Station. Subways continue to cross honor tonight. On the roads, big mess at the George with construction. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound George upper level has 2 lanes out, over a half-hour wait now. Lower deck will be better. Into New Jersey, the west side approach starting to back up back into the 140s. Not bad at the Lincoln or Holland. The Queens-bound Whitestone and Throgs Neck bridges both at a standstill. Then the Bronx Manhattan-bound RFK bridge starting to back up with a lane of road work. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. Luckily, through Nassau County tonight, quiet on the LIE, and then no trouble to report on both the northern or southern state parkways. Backing up in Queens on the westbound BQE at the LIE with construction. Then from the Williamsburg down to Catman Plaza in Brooklyn, it's at a standstill with 2 lanes of overnight road work. Kelly Gillen, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
We will have the latest on the impending possible LIRR strike. But first, tragedy on the streets of the city after police say 2 were killed when an apparent out-of-control driver slammed into multiple pedestrians' parked cars on the Upper West Side.
Residents like Jamie say they can't imagine the victim's last moments.
I just feel sad.
Says she called 911 after hearing a loud crash from her window.
People started shouting.
She threw on her shoes, came downstairs witnessing the unimaginable.
I saw 2 guys laying on the ground.
Now, police say the driver was intoxicated. He jumped the curb, crashing into a van, then killed 2 people, sending 3 more to the hospital.
It looked like a couple guys were trying to revive him or help him or do CPR. The other guy was just laying there.
And this man says they were hanging outside like they always do.
People get their haircuts, just listen to music, that's it.
But some folks say it would have been worse if the driver didn't hit the van first. Amanda Alexander, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM on the Upper West Side.
An investigation is underway. A nervous time, possible strike countdown intensifying for commuters and business owners alike along the rails.
Local businesses surrounding Penn Station are bracing themselves for a possible LIRR strike.
Inconvenient for the customer also, even I travel also longer than I leave.
Every business is down.
So if nobody stop by, we're gonna know business.
Sharon works at Dazzle Nails and say many of her customers are from Long Island.
Yes, we have a lot because the people working nearby, if they cannot be come to the work, then we will have a problem with the business for sure.
The 5 unions that represent LIRR workers will be at the bargaining table again. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM at Penn Station.
The intent to negotiate until midnight or beyond if necessary. 5 unions representing 3,500 workers, including engineers, signalmen, trainmen, are threatening to strike if an agreement cannot be reached. This morning, the governor called the strike conference room, telling both sides nobody wins in a strike and that riders will suffer and thousands of workers will miss out due to lost wages, while not apparently offering any insight into a possible counter offer. There's a shuttle bus contingency plan in the works. MTA Chief Customer Officer Shanifa Riera.
We are using 6 Long Island Railroad stations to do pickup and drop-offs. And out of those 6, we will be using 3, mainly on the Suffolk County end for reverse commute.
There's an admission, though, shuttle buses do not have the carrying capacity of trains. The union representing LIRR workers pushing for higher pay. MTA leaders warning that agreeing to the demands could trigger significant fare hikes. State Controller Thomas DiNapoli tells 1010 wins.
No one benefits from a strike. And given how uncertain our economy is these days, anything that would set us backward really would not be good for anyone's interests.
DiNapoli estimating a strike, if it happens, could cost up to $61 million a day in lost economic activity. Riders, you're urged to check your train schedules with the note that if the strike does happen 1 minute after midnight Saturday, all trains in motion at the time will proceed to their final destinations. 1010 wins, closely monitoring, closely following all these developments. Keep it here with us. The possibility of a strike isn't the only trouble on the rails. Work continuing on the damage from yesterday's Penn Station track fire, halting much train travel, still affecting today the LIRR commute. There's lingering problems. LIRR President Rob Free.
We operated an alternate schedule as we did last night, and unfortunately for this evening, we're doing so as well. We have to operate an alternate schedule with limited service out of Penn Station.
Fire on the tracks yesterday in one of the East River tunnels. Some trains still being diverted from Penn to Grand Central. Keep it here with us. 1010 wins for the latest in traffic transit on the ones. One life was lost after a man, 71, trapped in a Queens house fire today, say police and neighbors at the single-family home, 168th place near Highland Avenue. That's in Jamaica Hills this afternoon. The victim's body found in the attic, say law enforcement sources. The victim's name withheld pending notification of family. One firefighter treated for minor injuries. An investigation into the cause, that's underway. A case that could have hit very close to home. Federal authorities say they have an Iraqi national in custody. They say carried out at least 18 terror attacks across Europe and was said to be planning an attack here at a synagogue.
Prosecutors say the suspect, Mohammed al-Sadi, sent maps and pictures of a synagogue in the city to an undercover officer, asking about how they would attack the synagogue and agreeing on a payment of $10,000 to the officer, $3,000 in crypto. He never got that chance, but prosecutors say he did stab 2 Jewish men in London and firebombed a bank in Amsterdam, among several other attacks believed to be retaliation against the U.S. for the Iran war. Through his attorney, al-Sadi claimed he's being persecuted by the U.S. because of his relationship with Iran Revolutionary Guard leader Qasem Soleimani, who was killed by U.S. forces in 2020. Mac Rosenberg's 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch speaking in general about the New York element, about the plans for a local strike without giving a specific location.
The threat was identified, monitored, and controlled from the outset. I want to be clear. It was not this synagogue, and I will not be identifying the location at this time.
Speaking at Temple Emmanuel, controversy over mayoral video apparently pitting mayor versus billionaire.
Mayor Mamdani confirms a member of his team has reached out to Ken Griffin.
And it's part of invitations that I've made to a number of business leaders across the city, and I've appreciated those conversations.
He did not link it to the video he made outside Griffin's Billionaires Row building promoting the pied-à-terre tax, a video Griffin called creepy and weird with consequences like moving jobs and projects out of New York. The mayor would like a sit-down.
And there to have a conversation that goes beyond places of agreement, but perhaps places of disagreement, hear honest reflection, critique.
He says there would be no preconditions and adds he did not get the sense that Griffin needed to hear a public apology first. Juliet Papa, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Is the U.S. moving to indict Cuba's Raul Castro, former Cuban president, brother of Fidel, in connection with the downing of planes 30 years ago, according to U.S. officials familiar with the matter? This potential indictment, which would need to be approved by a grand jury, expected to focus on Cuba's deadly 1996 shoot-down of planes operated by a humanitarian group, Brothers to the Rescue. No comment as of yet from the Justice Department. This comes as the U.S. applies continuing pressure on the Cuban government.
I was diagnosed with postmenopausal osteoporosis and thought, am I going to step off a curb and break my ankle? My doctor said I needed to start treatment right away. He prescribed Divinity and my bone density improved. Now I like knowing I have stronger bones.
For women with postmenopausal osteoporosis at high risk for fracture, there's more you can do to strengthen your bones. Evenity is proven to significantly reduce spine fracture risk in 12 months. Elaine is a real Evenity patient. Individual results may vary. Evenity can increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a heart problem. Tell your doctor if you have had a heart attack or stroke. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it, as serious events have occurred with Evenity. Signs include rash, hives, swelling of the face or throat, which may cause difficulty in swallowing or breathing, muscle spasms or cramps, numbness or tingling. Tell your doctor about severe jawbone problems as they have been reported with Evenity. Report hip, groin, or thigh pain. Unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred with Evenity. Ask your doctor about building new bone with Evenity.
Did someone shell out $9 million for lunch with a billionaire and a basketball player? Well, it's all in the names. We'll tell you about that. But first, Wednesday, time 10:51 is get you where you need to go. Here is Kelly Dillon.
LIRR service is limited at Penn Station tonight. Mainly all trains being diverted to and from Grand Central still because of yesterday's fire. Subways do continue to cross Honor. Now on the roads, we got a mess on the northbound Hutch past Pelham Parkway in the Bronx with construction knocking out a lane. Westbound Cross Bronx delays picking up from White Plains Road to 3rd Avenue with construction. We're also backing up now on the northbound Deegan at 138th Street with roadwork setting up here, closing a lane. Traffic back through the RFK. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound George upper deck, 3 lanes out tonight. Half-hour wait. Lower deck, if you can, the way to go. Outbound, still quiet. And then no delays or problems either way now at the Lincoln or Holland. This report sponsored by MajorWorld.com. Don't get duped by low advertised prices on pre-owned cars. Once you try to buy one, the final price will end up being thousands more. Come to Major World for transparent pricing and no surprises. Major World, 4340 Northern Boulevard, Long Island City, Queens. Call 1-800-MAJOR-AUTO or go to MajorWorld.com. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
1010 Wins is closely monitoring the possible LIRR strike. Keep it here with us. Let's get a check of the AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Brian Thompson.
As it turns out, mainly clear tonight, while the low of 55 in the city. It'll be in the 40s in some suburbs. That'll be about as cool as it gets around here for a little while, as we'll have a pleasant, warmer day tomorrow. A lot of sunshine, a bit of a breeze in the afternoon with a high of 78, and the humidity will stay low. Partly to mostly cloudy tomorrow night. Not as cool. There might be a thunder shower, especially north and west of the city. Low tomorrow night about 67. Turning out very warm on Sunday, even a bit more humid. With more sun than clouds, a high up to 86. A wide range in temperatures on Monday as the wind shifts a little bit. We'll have a good deal of sunshine still. It'll be as cool as the 60s in some of the beaches. 80 in the city, near 90 inland, and then heating up Tuesday and Wednesday, while many places getting to at or above 90. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Well, there are reports an anonymous winner of a $9 million charity auction won a private lunch with Warren Buffett and Stephen Curry, with Buffett planning to match the winning bid for charity at an eBay auction for the Glide Foundation, homeless charity in San Francisco, also raising funds for Eat, Learn, Play, Curry's foundation.
Hi, I'm Steve Harris, founder of Harris Law. Crossing the street while wearing a telephone headset, Felix was hit by a truck. The defendants claim that Felix was distracted by a phone call, and that's what caused the accident. We got him $4 million. I'll tell you how right after this.
Have you been the victim of negligence or malpractice? Harris Law, New York's premier injury law firm, is a tough, dedicated legal team that will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call 212-593-7600 or visit harrislawnyc.com.
At Harris Law, we were able to synchronize the emergency 911 calls with Felix's telephone records, and we proved that though he was wearing a headset, he was not, in fact, on a call at the time of the accident. That's how we got him $4 million.
Call Harris Law today, 212-593-7600 or harrislawnyc.com. The consultation is free. The compensation could be millions.
Hey guys, Scott Stanford. I want you to spruce up your house this spring by calling my friends at CertaPro Painters. They work fast, clean, and professional. I know this because I'm a customer. Don't put off a painting project. Give them a call at 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with a C, and you'll see exactly what I mean. 1-800-GO-CERTA. Call CertaPro Painters today. Get a no-nonsense free estimate on a professional job that you'll be happy with for years to come.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com.
We plan ahead for the little things. An umbrella just in case it rains, a charger if your phone dies, water if you're thirsty. It's good to be prepared for something bigger, just in case someone needs help. Naloxone is small, easy to use, and can reverse an overdose in minutes. It's easy to carry wherever you go, because overdoses can happen anywhere. Be ready. Carry naloxone, because just in case can mean just in time. Get your free naloxone kit at nyc.gov/naloxone.
Your home deserves details that last. That's why Riverhead Building Supply offers Versatex PVC trim, the perfect choice for crisp, clean lines that stand up to the elements. Versatex is low maintenance, resistant to moisture, insects, and rot, and delivers the high-end look you've imagined. And with Riverhead's expert guidance and dependable service, upgrading is simple. Ready for what's next? Visit a local Riverhead Building Supply or learn more at rbscorp.com.
Hey Yankees fans, join us at Yankee Stadium on Friday, May 22nd as the Yankees take on the Rays and come early for a very special giveaway. It's Giancarlo Stanton basketball jersey night presented by State Farm. The first 18,000 guests through the gates will receive a Giancarlo Stanton basketball jersey. Don't miss the Yankees and the Rays on Friday, May 22nd for Giancarlo Stanton basketball jersey night presented by State Farm. Get your tickets now at yankees.com/tickets.
It was a rough one on Wall Street despite stocks closing higher for the week. But rising oil prices, flaming worries about rising overall inflation, which could prompt the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates higher for longer. And with that, the Dow tumbled 537 points today, a 1% drop. The Nasdaq down 1.5%, 410 points. The S&P lost 93, a 1.25% drop, and oil up to $105.42 a barrel. Toyota looking to build a new $2 billion auto plant near San Antonio, where it expects to create 2,000 jobs when it's finished in 4 years. I'm Tom Busby. Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-265-7681.
WINS, WINS-FM in HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. James Boyes at Service, a John Davis editor's desk. I'm Mario Bosquez.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, New York.
Good evening. We have 62 degrees at 11 o'clock. I'm Bud Mishkin. Here's what's happening. 2 pedestrians are dead after a car jumped the curb at Amsterdam and 109th tonight. 3 others are injured. Sources say the driver was impaired. The Long Island Railroad strike is looming at midnight, a strike that would have a huge effect on commuters and businesses.
$61 million per day lost economic activity if a strike happens is probably a conservative estimate.
An Iraqi national has been charged with 18 terror attacks in Europe and a planned terror attack on a synagogue here. President Trump back in Washington after the summit in China. And to screen or not to screen? Should schools dictate no screens for kids and provide more pencils and paper? Sports, Game 1 of the Subway Series is in the books. The Yankees beat the Mets at Citi Field. AccuWeather, mainly clear overnight, low of 55 in the city, 40s in some suburbs. Winds News Time 11:01. Let's get you where you need to go. Here's Kelly Dillon.
Right now, Lirr is still running limited service at Penn Station tonight. Mainly all trains diverted to and from Grand Central, with subways still cross-honoring. This is because of yesterday's fire at Penn Station. Repairs are underway. And again, a reminder for you that Lirr may strike in about 1 hour at 12:01 a.m. So do stay tuned to 1010 Win so we can get you where you need to go. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Inbound George upper level, 3 lanes of construction tonight, a half-hour wait. Lower deck is better. Into Jersey, it's all right. Not bad at the Lincoln or Holland. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big 3. We're quiet in Nassau County along the LIE tonight. No trouble on the northern or southern state parkways. Busy on the eastbound LIE now through Queens into Woodhaven, getting word of a crash here, closing 1 lane. The FDR backing up southbound in Midtown from the 40s into the teens with construction, then northbound through the 60s. Overnight road work also now setting up and backing up traffic. So the west side, the way to go. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
If you like the cool weather that we've had lately, and I speak from some experience here, well, it's going to go by the wayside for a while. It's going to get kind of warm. AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Some warmer weather is about to move in just in time for the weekend. After temperatures drop into the 40s and 50s tonight, we're going to see temperatures recover very nicely tomorrow, and it's going to be just a fantastic day weather-wise. Lots of sunshine, low humidity, a bit of a breeze, and we'll see temperatures get into the upper 70s to near 80 tomorrow afternoon. Maybe a thunder shower at a few spots tomorrow night, and then Sunday looks largely dry. It's going to be even warmer, even a touch more humid with some sunshine and highs well into the 80s.
Tragedy and some terrifying moments and fatal moments tonight on Amsterdam Avenue near Columbia University. 1010 Wins reporter Amanda Alexander.
Intoxicated behind the wheel and speeding down Amsterdam Avenue at 6 on a Friday evening. That is until he jumped the curb, killing 2 people, sending 3 more to the hospital. Jamie lives on the same corner.
So I kind of saw something and heard a huge crash. So delayed. I don't know how long after people started shouting on the streets.
Says she was cooking when it happened.
When people are that hysterical, something must have happened.
And she saw 2 men laying on the ground.
A couple guys were trying to revive him or help him or do CPR. And then the other guy was just laying there.
Yeah, folks here say the same group of men usually hang out there talking and playing dominoes. Amanda Alexander, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on the Upper West Side.
T-minus 1 hour until a potential Long Island Railroad strike. Talks resume today between the unions and the MTA. The MTA wants to pay workers in the 4th year of the contract with a one-time lump sum. The union has previously dismissed this as, in their words, a gimmick and insisted on raises. If there's a strike, shuttle buses will run between the Ronkonkoma and Huntington Long Island Railroad stations and the Jamaica 179th Street subway stop in Queens, where commuters can take the F train into Manhattan. And buses will also run from the Bay Shore, Hicksville, and Mineola stations, as well as Hempstead Lake State Park. Those shuttles will go to Howard Beach JFK Airport subway station, where commuters can, yes, take the A train. The shuttle buses will run during peak hours toward Manhattan from 4:30 to 9 a.m. and to Long Island from 3 to 7 p.m. Nassau County commuters could also use the Nice bus to connect to Flushing Main Street to catch the number 7 subway train, or to the Jamaica bus terminal in Queens, which is a short walk to the F train. MTA admits it's no replacement for moving 300,000 customers daily, as the Long Island Railroad does. The ramifications of the strike extend beyond the people who ride the rails.
A Long Island Railroad strike won't just be bad for commuters. It'll be a headache for business owners, too.
So if nobody, stop by, then we're gonna no business.
At Dazzle Nails, Sharon was serving a client from Long Island.
Yes, we have a lot. The people working nearby, if they cannot come to the work, then we will have a problem with the business.
She says many of her customers come straight from work before they go home. The same goes for Pete, who owns a local corner store.
It's hard
hurt the business, like, retailer, because it's strike, so it really affect the businesses.
The 5 unions that represent LIRR workers will be at the bargaining table again. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM at Penn Station.
The MTA gave an update this afternoon. Long Island Railroad President Rob Free on what happens if a train leaves just before midnight.
Even if those trains leave just before midnight, but are operating after midnight, they will continue to their final destination. We don't want any customers getting stranded on board our trains, so we'll ensure that they get home safely.
More on the economic impact of a potential strike. New York State Controller Thomas DiNapoli.
There are a lot of variables here, sometimes hard to quantify, but I think our estimate of the $61 million per day lost economic activity if a strike happens is probably a conservative estimate.
Mayor Mamdani issued a statement tonight saying in part that New York City emergency management operations staff will be deployed to key shuttle bus hubs and drop-off locations in Queens because large crowds are anticipated there. An Iraqi national has been charged with 18 terror attacks in Europe and a planned terror attack in a synagogue here.
Prosecutors say the terror attacks were carried out by Mohammed al-Sadi in retaliation against the U.S. for the Iran war. A text message from al-Sadi to an undercover officer included a picture and map of a synagogue in the city and said it supported the right for Israel to exist. In a phone call with that officer, al-Sadi allegedly asked if they would use an improvised explosive device or, quote, set the place on fire. He's charged with conspiracy to provide material support for 2 groups labeled by the U.S. as foreign terrorist organizations. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch tonight with more on the allegations.
The discussions allegedly involved arson, improvised explosive devices, and cryptocurrency payments in anticipation of the operation moving forward. The attack never occurred because the
All right. Got my mic here. I think we're ready to come on. Gonna turn off the echoing noise if I need to do that here. Okay. Alright, that's way too loud. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright. There we go. Alright, good evening. It is 11:08 on Friday, May 15th, 2026. I had the audio on from 1010 Wins. I can't really put my camera on for a reason because I'm not going to go into reasons why till later on. Because I'm helping my mom do stuff around the house at the moment. But, yes, we are waiting for the Long Island Railroad either to make a deal at the very last minute, or we're either going to have a strike at midnight. You are looking live right now at radar.mta.info. And these could possibly be the last trains we see running on the Long Island Railroad for who knows how long. We've had Long Island Railroad strikes that have lasted 2 days in 1994. And we had a strike in 1987 that lasted 11 days. I got a little alarm there. I'm like, wait a minute, breaking news logo on Channel 7. I'm like, did they have an update? Did they reach a deal? No. Okay. I'm like, I just don't want to be like, okay. Don't want to get a little too eager McBeaver here. But, the question will be, if there is a deal tonight, are the networks going to have to preempt programming in New York? I think they should. Because, I know we're going into a holiday weekend next week with Memorial Day, but the weather is getting warmer. We know the Yankees are playing the Mets tomorrow at Citi Field. There's the Brooklyn Half Marathon. And then there's what's going on with the Bruce Springsteen concert. I want to clarify one quick thing regarding the Knicks. The Cleveland Cavaliers lost tonight to the Detroit Pistons. So the last thing anybody wanted was another issue with how are people supposed to get to Madison Square Garden from Long Island if the trains aren't running? And then I will mention there is college graduations going on this weekend. That makes things pretty difficult. The colleges in Long Island are supposed to have their graduation ceremonies, I think, tomorrow, if I'm correct. But then again, you know, the weekend has nice weather. It's supposed to be nice weather tomorrow. It's supposed to be nice weather on Sunday. And you think people would want to go to the Hamptons or Long Beach, for an example, on the railroad? That might not be the case tomorrow. So I just want to take a look at train 2992 for 1 second here. What train is this? Okay. Yes, this train's going to Jamaica. All right. I just wanted to see what was going on here. But I don't know if they had bought it up on 1010 Wins, but we have very limited train service still out of Penn Station tonight. That is because of a track fire that occurred. It was electrical on track 19 yesterday at Penn Station right before 12 noon. We know that that train was obviously going to be delayed. As you see here, if you look at the green colors, yeah, I'm left wondering. Yeah, there's GCT. There's GCT. Mets 2 GCT. So that might be people coming back from Citi Field tonight, it looks like. So I do have a list of trains that are going to be out. So I'm just looking at the comments at the moment. So Matt Camper is here. I know he was at the Yankees-Mets game tonight at Citi Field. And he took one of the shuttle buses that the Mets were offering from Long Island tonight. They had buses that took people from Roosevelt Field Mall, Walt Whitman Mall, and then the Americana Manhasset. So I just want to mention, if you're just joining us, we are possibly almost 45 minutes away from a Long Island Railroad strike occurring. I just want to mention that if you're on one of the last trains of the night, they will be running past midnight. But then after that, if anything is scheduled after midnight, you're stuck. You're pretty much stuck. That's all I can tell you. So, if we can quickly take a look at the departure board from Penn Station. And they're trying to get the last trains out of the night, but, you know, that makes it pretty difficult. I mean, I could go on traintime.mta.info and then see if anything comes up on that end. So let's just go on here and see if we have any departures out of Penn Station as a result of last night's incident. Oh, yesterday morning's incident, excuse me, of what had happened with the electrical fire on track 19. So, let's just quickly... No, that's not it. No. Oh, wow. Okay, let me look at this. Look what they have on train time. Look. Complete all travel by midnight before a possible strike suspends all service. They're already posting that on train time. Again, 45 minutes until the strike happens. Okay? You'd think that they would cross-honor Long Island Railroad tickets on the subway during the strike at least. No, they're telling you to pay out of pocket if you want to do that or take Nice Bus. Because Bruce Blakeman, the county executive for Nassau County tonight, said, oh, we're going to have extra service. Let's hope so. Hang on here. Right, only hourly service between Grand Central and Port Washington as a result of yesterday's track fire. They are anticipating that for New Jersey Transit customers tomorrow, the good news is for those attending the Bruce Springsteen concert, you will have Midtown Direct service to go upstairs at Madison Square Garden. I know a lot of Bruce Springsteen's fans are from New Jersey, obviously, and they're going to be wondering, am I going to be able to go to the concert tomorrow? So don't worry about that, unless there's another fire, which that's the last thing anybody needs on a Long Island Railroad track that is shared by Amtrak. So it's Amtrak, nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. I'm just wondering, where are the departures at the moment? I'm just trying to find out where are they. Okay, here they are. All right. So it looks like the last train of the night that's going to leave from Penn State. I'm just looking at like the last train. Just the last train. Okay, they're trying to maybe get the 11:45 out to Port Washington, but I would think if you're in Manhattan right now and you're coming home from a Broadway show, I hope you're taking this seriously and got to Penn Station or Grand Central as quick as you could, because you may need to get a hotel for the night if you can. That's where I'm going to leave it. I hate to see people from Long Island stuck in the city. Hopefully maybe they made plans to stay at a hotel tonight, but that could be an issue there. Let's just look at Grand Central. Take a look at that for a second here. And I'll go to the comments as we go along here. But, the last train of the night that will leave from Grand Central will be going to my station in Queens Village. Wow. Alright, so if I was in the city late tonight for whatever reason, hypothetically, but then here's the problem, the Q88, that would be an issue. See, I have to take the Q27 up to the Union Turnpike and then get the 46, or the 46 home. So I know how late the buses run. Okay, I just want to look at 11:30 train to Far Rockaway. Yep, M7. Just curious. Now let's see what we got on the Babylon branch. M7, okay. If you go on traintime.mta.info, you can get all the latest information. Alright? So let me just highlight mta.info. No. Why can't I go on mta.info? Thank you. Let's see if they have the home page. Alright, good. So they have it on the home page. Good. Alright. So I want to see if I can get you the information on the shuttle buses. Oh, look at that. A whole list was compiled. Yeah. A whole list was compiled. Let's go to Atlantic Terminal. Yeah, let's see if the 11:31 train is on the docket. Yeah. Now I'm curious. Here we go. Okay, this is a development at Atlantic Terminal. Have they reached a deal on the Long Island Railroad? They have the 12:04 a.m. train from Jamaica on the departure board. Okay, that's weird. The last train of the night's supposed to be running from 11:31. Do we have a deal reached on the Long Island Railroad? This might be a developing story here. Somebody can clarify me in the comments. That would be great. Because, hang on here.
Continue. The deadline about 40 minutes away. We will have an update as we have a podium outside, hopefully waiting news of a possible deal, but the strike 40 minutes away potentially. Keep it locked.
Channel 7 just suggested WABC TV. There might be a press conference from MTA Long Island Railroad President Rob Free scheduled. Okay. I don't know what's going on here, but if I didn't click on Atlantic Terminal and didn't do some investigative work here, I might have just broke the biggest story of 2026. Okay, anyhow. This is supposed to be the last train of the night that's supposed to leave from Atlantic Terminal in Brooklyn. I know there's a lot that goes on in downtown Brooklyn on a Friday night, or Williamsburg, for an example, or not Greenpoint. No, more of a Williamsburg thing. The clubs always get crowded in Williamsburg on a Friday night. So, why do we only have 6 cars out of Atlantic? Just beyond baffles me. But, less I say. Let's just go into the contingency plans very quickly here. Okay. Those are the contingency plans. That's some good news. But again, how are these buses going to transport people? I would just say, again, if you're an essential worker, like a police officer, a firefighter, maybe like a school teacher or something, maybe use this, but who knows? This is going to be pretty difficult to get to JFK Airport, either from Lakeview, Hicksville, Mineola, or Bayshore. But then if you're coming from Suffolk County, like Ronkonkoma or Huntington, they're going to take you to the F train. So, Nice Bus is trying to chip in. That's the good news. So look at your Nice Bus routes very carefully here. I don't want you to be like, oh, where do I go from here or there? Well, here are your options from Nice Bus. Just have your Omni card ready, I guess, right? Yeah, then look at this. Look at this shuttle bus map they have. You know what? I'm going to save a PDF of this for future reference. I'm going to save a PDF. Can I save a PDF of this? Yeah, I can. Okay. Thankfully, that doesn't come up on your screen. But I did post on my X what were going to be the last trains of the night. I had about 2 people, at least, really post it. That's a good sign. So I digress. Let's just go back to the map here. And again, live look at the map. Look how, again, right, here's train 26. See that? This train's due in Montauk at 11:37. So is this train heading to Amagassett soon? Out in Suffolk? Who knows? So let me look at the comments for a second. Alright, so no deal has been reached as expected. I had a feeling that would be the case. I could go on ABC7's blog, but here's the problem. I have a very weak CPU on this computer, and I don't think it would be able to handle. I tried it earlier, and let's just say it didn't end up so well. You know what I'm saying? If I try that, then it's going to be like, oh, why did you mess up your CPU? Oh, I got to take care of something, guys. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Procrastinated on a chore I had to do quickly, away from the computer. Okay, so I am just looking at the let me look at the map for a second. I want to know what this train is. Yeah, look at that. Look how they have this as a long, complicated letter. PSGRKOX. I love that name. It's so long. Are we going with these trends because Olivia Rodrigo said to do 34 letters for her album? I had to say it. And I need a little dark humor right now because, you know, we're dealing with... Oh, here's another one. Hey, Olivia Rodrigo, look. You can manifest too. Here's another one. You know, let's see what this one is. Okay. PSG R4PWS. This going to my station in Auburndale? Oh, it is going to my station. It is going to my station. Look at that. And look, it's already running. Is it running on time to Woodside? Oh, it's running on time to Woodside. Look at that. 11:22. So it's about 5 minutes late. The Long Island Railroad always says if a train runs more than 5 minutes late, it's normally considered on time. So, yeah, it says 4 minutes late. Okay. Because what time is it due at my other station, Auburndale? Because I see it on the map right here. Yeah, see, it says ADL. That's Auburndale. And then BSD is Bayside. DGL is Douglaston and Queens. Because my station is ADL, Auburndale. So it's due in Auburndale at 11:37. See, it's a good thing I clicked on that. Thank you, Olivia Rodrigo. She's watching somewhere. Thank you. All right. Serious note here. That could be the last train of the night going... No, there's another one from... Right. So if I'm correct, I believe that's going to be the last train of the night going to Port Washington. I'll show you right here. Show you right here. See? Are you kidding me? So they're still going to have some trains run past midnight. Right. That makes sense. What am I saying? Oh, goodness. Look at this. 11:37 to Port Washington. 11:47 to Manhasset. So these trains are stopping in Auburndale. Okay. So if you're an Osnum Hall employee and you're trying to head back late east, I would say clock out of Osnum Hall right now and get home. Because you're honestly left with... I've done the walk numerous times from the Osnum Hall Nursing Home. And let me tell you, if you did not start walking now, and you're a late night employee at the nursing home, you might want to think about, if you're going out far east of Manhasset, get on that 11:47 train. You're heading out to Port Washington. Make sure you're on that train at 12:11 because you're going to get stranded. You're going to get stranded for the night. Because I know my nursing home very well. We don't have sleeping quarters for our nurses. So I'll just randomly mention that. So I digress. Let's look at Matt Camper Station. Matt, I'm going to look at your station, Merrick. Let's look at your station, Merrick, for an example. If he's still here, Matt, look at this. So, the last train that's scheduled to be going to Babylon is going to be at 11:39 and then 11:59. See that? So just for fun, we're just looking at Matt Camper Station. This is Merrick. And then Matt has a Plan B station. Let's look at Hicksville. Let's just look at what's going on over at Hicksville. All right. Oh, look at this. The 11:19 train is running late. Oh, lovely. It's first pulling into Hicksville 10 minutes late. Ah. 10 minutes late. Oh, that's what you get with the electrical fire. By the way, I will mention from what the FDNY was saying, it was really bad on track 19 because the wiring to the signals really were damaged in that fire. And I think they had to evacuate the people that were on track 19. So, looks like all the remaining trains of the night at Hicksville are going to be on track 3. And then when we looked at Merrick, we were looking at track 2. So, that is an interesting development. Let me just quickly recap for those joining in. Good evening. I'm sure you're well aware of by now that in less than a half hour, all Long Island Railroad train service is set to be suspended after midnight. There is a Long Island Railroad strike on the horizon. All right. Past midnight. Sorry to pause there for a second, but what's going on here? Why isn't these two trains loading? I'm going to have to refresh this website here. What's going on? Okay, why do we have two trains stuck all the way out near the Hamptons right now? Hello? Can somebody explain to me what's going on here? Long Island Railroad? Why is this train to Montauk still stuck past Southampton right now? Somebody has some explaining to do. Somebody has some explaining to do. No wonder these trains are moving so slow. Got to account for the fact that, again, everything had to come through Grand Central tonight, so... And then limited track space at Penn Station. Ugh. What a mess. What a mess. So let me go back to the comments here. Alright, so live gaming. If you see something on ABC's blog, ABC7NY blog, please keep me posted. Maybe we will have an update. Who knows? Oh, okay. Your Plan B station is Westbury, man. I thought it was always Hicksville. Okay, let's look at Hicksville. Let's look at Westbury. Look, what's the last train at Westbury? Last train of the night. Hang on here. Oh, look at this. This train's running late too. Yay. And now it just left Carl Place and it's pulling into Westbury. Alright, hang on here. Channel 7's giving an update.
Down at MTA headquarters, where both the MTA and unions representing about 3,500 LIRR workers are at the bargaining table trying to iron out a deal with less than a half hour to go until a possible strike at 12:01 a.m. Obviously, at this point in the night, there has been no concrete information that a strike has been averted, as both sides seem to be stuck on the specifics of what a fourth year in a new contract could look like for LIRR workers as they try to settle this. Mike Schade.
Okay, thank you, Anthony. And we'll be following these last-minute negotiations before the deadline, now less than 30 minutes away.
You can follow the blog all night at ABC7NY.
Good night.
Oh, my goodness. I hit the wrong button on OBS. Alright, I thought Anthony Carlo had some good news on Channel 7. It looked like he didn't. So that was just a false alarm. It's a good thing I had my tuner hooked up here. In fact, what we can do, if there is some news this late at night, we will be able to get you a live feed of News 12 Long Island coming up. So I'm going to reconfigure that right now on my TV. So just give me a second here and I can continue talking. So we do have a plan B. I hope somebody is in the newsroom in Bethpage. Maybe Tama's in the newsroom. Maybe Rich is in the newsroom. Somebody has to be in that newsroom at News 12 tonight. The biggest story of 2026. You don't have anybody in your newsroom. That's where I'll leave it at. I don't want to rant this late at night because I haven't even recorded my podcast. We're still going to do one every Saturday. And there's going to be a lot I will be saying more about the strike if it does happen. But let's get back to the map and I'll read some of the comments as we... Listen, if anybody wants me to click on something on the map, feel free to request me. Okay, good news. This train is finally in Montauk. Thank goodness. But this train's still stuck here to Jamaica. Alright, I don't know what's going on with that. Again, MTA, you have some explaining to do with your diesel equipment, but I digress. Anyhow, I am just having a little bit of a problem right now with my Roku. I don't know what's going on with it. I know, technical difficulties. What a pain in the butt. I know. Yep. So we're less than 25 minutes away. It looks like it's happening. Unless, again, a miracle can happen. But, again, be prepared. It sounds like we are going to have no Long Island Railroad service running tomorrow. At least, maybe, just maybe, they could come back tomorrow on a Saturday and negotiate this. I mean, it is very possible. Could happen. But again, we are likely heading towards a strike. That's where things are heading. That's why I'm trying to get News 12's feed on at the moment. Yeah, it's just Rich Barberry doing lip service. So, I just wish there's like a way I can leave my TV off. Like, can I leave my TV off and just do this?
Project.
Okay, good. I can leave my TV off.
News 12. That work was part of an
Thank
ongoing
goodness.
sewer project, but the cause is being...
I could just show you News 12 for 1 second. Alright, so if we need to go to News 12, we can go to News 12. If we need to go to 1010 Wins, I have a way to put 1010 Wins on for you all to listen into. So we have information that can come in this late at night. Maybe I could try ABC 7 one more time on my computer. Not this tab. Oh, you dum-dums. Oh, there's a part... Really? But wait a minute. How could there be a shuttle bus parked in the parking lot of Patchogue this late at night? Well, again, maybe there is a miracle. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, I just want to give a heads up. If you are a New York Knicks fan, this is completely unrelated, but just stand by for some details. I want to bring this up because this is very important to note for this late at night. I'm just going to show you the score very quickly here of the Spurs versus Timberwolves game because this does have a lot to do with the Eastern Conference Finals. I thought I had that post here. Okay. Here we go. So this is just a heads up that if you are a New York Knicks fan, you might want to pay attention to the following announcement. Because the San Antonio Spurs are about to clinch their Western Conference Finals series against the Minnesota Timberwolves, we now have the official start time for Game 7 between Cleveland and Detroit from Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. The game will tip off at 8 p.m. on Amazon Prime Video. The winner will face the Knicks, and the Eastern Conference Finals will be played on Tuesday, meaning we're going to have to wait to find out when Oklahoma City, the Thunder, will be playing the San Antonio Spurs. So this is kind of a very important sports note to bring up for the evening, since, again, most of us are waiting for the Knicks to start their Eastern Conference Finals series. So I just quickly, again, wanted to acknowledge that, because the last thing anybody wanted was for another event to happen at Madison Square Garden, which would have been Knicks versus Cleveland. And then how are people supposed to get to, exactly. That's my point. So, anyhow, I think maybe we can put 10-10 wins on for one quick update. Maybe. Let's try to do that quickly.
11:41. Let's get you where you need to go. Here's Kelly Dillon.
At the moment, LIRR service tonight limited at Penn Station, mainly all trains going to and from Grand Central and subways cross Otterring. Again, those repairs still underway at Penn Station from yesterday's fire. And again, the strike could happen at 12:01 a.m. very soon. So do stay tuned to 1010 Wins so we can get you where you need to go. Now, we do have a crash on the Southern State. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. The westbound Southern State, exit 15 in Hempstead, the left lane out. With an accident, Sunrise Highway will be better. Not bad on the LIE or Northern State tonight so far. In Queens, a new accident is on the southbound Cross Island, past Hempstead Turnpike, closing a lane, so that's quickly backing up. A crash on the eastbound LIE as well tonight at Woodhaven. 2 lanes are down, traffic right back to the BQE. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Across the George, both ways, upper decks at a standstill. 2 to 3 lanes of construction both ways on the upper deck spans. Lower levels will be better. Both ways, about half-hour wait. The Lincoln Tunnel has at least a 20-minute backup both directions now. Go with the Holland. It is quiet in either direction. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
A nervous possible strike countdown happening fast at 1 minute past midnight, possibly. It's intensifying for commuters and business owners alike along the rails.
Local businesses surrounding Penn Station are bracing themselves for a possible LIRR strike.
Like inconvenient for the customer also, like even I travel also longer than I leave.
Every business is down.
So if nobody stop by, we're gonna no business.
Sharon works at Dazzle Nails and say many of her customers are from Long Island.
Yes, we have a lot because the people working nearby, if they cannot be come to the work, then we will have a problem with the business for sure.
The 5 unions that represent LIRR workers will be at the bargaining table again. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM at Penn Station.
The intent was to negotiate until midnight, fast approaching or beyond if needed. We will keep you posted, of course. 5 unions representing 3,500 workers, including engineers, signalmen, trainmen, threatening to strike if an agreement cannot be reached. This morning, the governor called the strike conference room, telling both sides nobody wins in a strike, that riders will suffer and thousands of workers will miss out due to lost wages, while not apparently offering any insight into a possible counter offer. There is a shuttle bus contingency plan underway. MTA Chief Customer Officer Shanice Riera.
We are using 6 Long Island Railroad stations to do pickup and drop-offs. And out of those 6, we will be using 3, mainly on the Suffolk County end for reverse commute.
There is an admission, though shuttle buses just don't have the carrying capacity of trains. The union representing LIRR workers pushing for higher pay. MTA leaders warn that agreeing to those demands could trigger significant fare hikes. State Controller Thomas DiNapoli telling 1010 Wins.
No one benefits from a strike. And given how uncertain our economy is these days, anything that would set us backward really would not be good for anyone's interests.
Denopoli estimating a strike, if it happens, could cost up to $61 million a day in lost economic activity. On social media, the mayor putting out a statement reading in part, City Hall and agencies across the administration are actively coordinating preparedness and contingency efforts to help maintain continuity for commuters and support New Yorkers as conditions evolve. Riders, you're urged to check your train schedules carefully with a note, if the strike just happened again in 1 minute past midnight, all trains in motion at the time will proceed to their final destinations. 1010 Winds is closely monitoring, closely following all these developments. So stay here with us at 1010 Winds. Also the latest on traffic and transit on the ones. Tragedy on the streets of the city after police say 2 people were killed when an apparent out-of-control driver slammed into multiple pedestrians and parked cars on the Upper West Side today.
Residents like Jamie say they can't imagine the victim's last moments.
I just feel sad.
Says she called 911 after hearing a loud cry.
travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-809-7989. That's 800-809-7989. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-809-7989. That's 800-809-7989 today.
Now, a commercial message. Larry Mullins here. After an accident, you need a trusted law firm with an army of efficient staff members. That's Spector and Associates, your serious injury attorneys. Spector and Associates understands how devastating an accident can be and will fight relentlessly. Spector and Associates serious injury attorneys are based in New York. Construction accident, car accident, slip, trip, and fall. Call them now. 800-318-8888. Spector and Associates has recovered hundreds of millions for the injured. Been in an accident? Visit crashinjury.com or call 800-318-8888. The lawyers at Spector and Associates serious injury attorneys fight hard. Win big to get you what you deserve. Call them now. 800-318-8888. That's 800-318-8888. Or visit crashinjury.com.
Spector and Associates, your serious injury lawyers. 800-318-8888.
Licensed in the Tri-State, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania.
This is Tom Scared for the Borgen Project. Each year, nearly 2 million children die from preventable diseases. Each day, 30,000 people die from hunger. 500 each hour are children. The Borgen Project is turning this around. We need your help. To learn more, go to borgenproject.org. That's BORGEN project.org.
1010 wins.
I think it's important to be better informed about what's going on around you.
They cover everything.
I like the way they present it.
1010 wins.
At 92.3 FM.
WINS, WINS FM in HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 Wins and from any other radio station in the nation. James Boyce at Service Aid, Phil Pilato, Editor's Desk. I'm Mario Bosquez.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning. It's 61 degrees at 12 midnight on this Saturday, May 16th. I'm Bud Mishkin. Here's what's happening. A Long Island Railroad strike midnight deadline is here. No official word yet on whether the strike has been called. 2 pedestrians are dead after a car jumped the curb at Amsterdam and 109th Friday night. 3 others are injured. Sources say the driver was impaired. An Iraqi national has been charged with 18 terror attacks in Europe and a planned terror attack on a synagogue here. President Trump on his way home from the summit. He's not on his way home. He is back at the White House after the summit in China. And to screen or not to screen? Should schools dictate no screens for kids and provide more pencils and paper? Sports, Subway Series at Citi Field. The Yankees beat the Mets. AccuWeather overnight, mainly clear. A low 55 in the city, 40s in the suburbs. Wins News Time, 12:01. Let's get you where you need to go. We check in with Liam Flynn.
Long Island Railroad service no longer an option for the time being. The last operating trains making their final stop. So here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. The eastbound Northern State with some construction tonight into exit 35 for routes 106 and 107 in Jericho. Stick with the Long Island Expressway instead, which looks good either way. Nothing doing on the Southern State Parkway. The Meadowbrook, Wantagh, and Seaford Oyster Bay all doing well for us. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The George Washington Bridge upper level have a lot of construction tonight, both directions on the New York side, so go for the lower level once you get there. And out of the Bronx, use the major Deegan Expressway, the west side, the best out of Manhattan. Lincoln Tunnel, an extra few minutes out of town. Use 9th Avenue with some construction work. And from the 11th Avenue approach, we look good either way at the Holland Tunnel and across the upper East River. A lot of construction night at Throgs Neck Bridge. Go for the Whitestone instead. You will do better. And one more time, Long Island Railroad service. It is suspended system-wide. Keep it locked to 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. Liam Flynn, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
We're getting some warmer weather on the way and then into the 90s by midweek next week. Let's get the latest from AccuWeather's LaTroy Thornton.
It's finally looking like just the sort of weekend that many have been waiting for. We have warmer weather coming up, but the early morning does bring mid-50s in Midtown and some 40s for some of the suburbs. That's it for widespread 40s anywhere in the tri-state for a while, though. The rest of today brings a good deal of sunshine, a breeze in the afternoon, and highs not far from 80. It's a great day to get outside, really, with then just perhaps a thunder shower at night, mainly to the north and west of the city, with lows staying in the mid-60s. Out of an even warmer and somewhat more humid day on Sunday. Still quite nice, though, with sun and a high of 86.
The midnight deadline for a potential Long Island Railroad strike is now upon us. Now, we have no official word yet that a strike has been called. Talks did resume Friday between the unions and the MTA. Shuttle buses, if there is a strike, will run between the Ronkonkoma and Huntington Long Island Railroad stations and the Jamaica 179th Street subway stop in Queens. There, commuters can take the F train into the city. Buses will also run from the Bayshore, Hicksville, and Mineola stations, as well as Hempstead Lake State Park. These shuttles will go to the Howard Beach JFK Airport subway station, where commuters can take the A train. Shuttle buses will run during peak hours toward Manhattan from 4:30 to 9 a.m. and to Long Island from 3 to 7 p.m. Nassau County commuters should also consider using the NICE bus to connect to Flushing Main Street to catch the 7 train, or to the Jamaica bus terminal in Queens, which is a short walk to the F train. MTA admits this is no replacement for moving 300,000 customers daily on the rails. The ramifications of a strike extend beyond the people who ride the rails.
A Long Island Railroad strike won't just be bad for commuters. It'll be a headache for business owners, too.
So if nobody, stop by, then we're gonna no business.
At Dazzle Nails, Sharon was serving a client from Long Island.
Yes, we have a lot. The people working nearby, if they cannot come to the work, then we will have a problem with the business.
She says many of her customers come straight from work before they go home. The same goes for Pete, who owns a local corner store.
It's hurt the business, retailer, because it's strike, so it really affect the businesses.
The 5 unions that represent LIRR workers will be at the bargaining table again. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM at Penn Station.
More on the economic ramifications of the potential strike with New York State Controller Thomas DiNapoli.
There are a lot of variables here, sometimes hard to quantify, but I think our estimate of the $61 million per day lost economic activity if a strike happens is probably a conservative estimate.
Mayor Mamdani issued a statement Friday night saying in part that New York City's emergency management operations staff will be deployed to key shuttle bus hubs and drop-off locations in Queens where large crowds are anticipated. In other news, tragedy and some terrifying and fatal moments Friday night on Amsterdam Avenue near Columbia University.
Intoxicated behind the wheel and...
Okay, we are back. Making sure that my mic is here. All right, there we go. All right, so if you are just joining us, it is after midnight. And it sounds like strike is happening. As of now. As of now. I don't want to say it's official. I'm going to try to keep the stream going to at least 12:30 if I can. We're still waiting for a possible announcement this late at night. I know it is after midnight. I know a lot of us are anxious. A lot of us are going through the process of this now being surreal. And within the next hour, this map is going to look empty. This map is going to show no trains. And it is deafening to think that we were facing a strike possibility in September of last year. The Trump administration got involved in that. There was supposed to be another strike that occurred back in February. That didn't happen, thank goodness. Trump administration got involved in that. In 1994, the strike lasted about 2 days in June. Now, I don't remember what month was the 1987 strike, but you had President Ronald Reagan get involved, and he said, get those trains running while you get a contract done. And thankfully they did. And at the end of the day, we're left wondering how this could have been prevented, all just because of a salary increase for 2020, a salary increase for 2030. That's where this had come down to. And again, I'll get more into it in my podcast tomorrow, but for now, all we can do is just state the facts here. That right now, if you're at Penn Station, if you're at Grand Central, if you're at Atlantic, or if you're at any of your stations right now, if you're on a train right now, thank your conductors. Thank them for checking your tickets tonight. This board, if you can, thank them. They don't know when they're going to go back to work. It's going to be very difficult. I don't want to honestly speculate how long this could last. We saw what happened with New Jersey Transit last year when it lasted 3 days. It was Friday into Monday, and then the trains came back. There's a lot that could happen, and as you're seeing minute by minute, you're seeing trains, less of them, on the map. And you're only going to see trains in Metro North territory on radar.mta.info. You are not imagining things. You are not hallucinating. You are not on an LCD ecstasy trip. All right? You are not drunk. You are not on a weed high trip right now. The Long Island Railroad strike is actually happening. And I can get away with it, because you know why I can get away with saying stuff like that now? It's after midnight. So I'm obliging by the FCC's safe harbor rules. Somebody had a drum roll, that would be a drum punchline drum, that would help me. But yeah, that's the reality we're in right now. So it is a disaster. And I know somebody had just commented, loyal viewer to this channel was just saying, I know who he is, but I won't say his name. And we talked about this way back in September. He knows who he is. And he said, oh, what if it does go into May? What if it does go into a situation where it could lead well into the FIFA World Cup? Anything is not off the table. This strike could last the whole weekend. It could go into next weekend. It can go into Memorial Day. It could go well into June. without this being resolved. I don't really want to speculate, again, what could happen here. And again, I'll go into it more in my podcast tomorrow, but I don't know what to say. But if it goes well into the FIFA World Cup, and like what Realist Horn, I might as well just say his username. I'm not going to say his real name. What Realist Horn just said, we are now less than a month away from the FIFA World Cup happening, which is a part of America's 250th birthday celebration. It's all part of that. It all culminates with that. And the last thing that anybody wants, and I know we talk about $20 bus rides to MetLife Stadium. We talk about $95 New Jersey Transit rides to Secaucus. But the people that are coming from Long Island who want to go to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey to witness history, I really can't say what could it look like if we're 26 days out. Yeah, 26, top of my head. 26 days out. 26. So that would be June 12th, if I am correct. Yeah, Friday. I mean, we can only focus on the short term of the Yankees-Mets 7 o'clock later tonight. We can only focus on the Bruce Springsteen concert at Madison Square Garden. We can focus on the Brooklyn Half Marathon. We could talk about the Italian Festival happening in Lindenhurst. I just thought of another event that could be impacted now. Yeah, there's actually an Italian festival happening in Lindenhurst later today. Sunday, there's supposed to be a street festival in Bethpage. All these events that are impacted by a Long Island Railroad strike. And it's very bad to think about that right now, but that's the reality we're in. You know, very sad reality that we are in, that we never had imagined what would happen. And Realist Horn brought up a good point about the school bus strike in 2013. I'll put my camera on for just a second.
I haven't factored
I
that
can
in
do
this
that.
time.
Oh, hang on here. News 12 is live.
Right. Well, let's say just your union.
Listen, I've been in a bargaining for 2 days straight with no windows. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. Please excuse me.
You don't know what your starting salary
Not
is.
when you compound in the 3-4 years, and we don't even have a fourth year negotiated yet. So I can't answer that question for you respectfully.
We have a press release that is being sent out. You probably have already received it in the last couple of minutes. If you haven't, I'd be happy to send it to you. But these guys have had a very long day. We'll be on the picket lines in the morning. And as I said, there are a couple that are already set up, or Gil said, including at outside Penn Station, 33rd and 7th. But we'll have a lot more information to report in the morning for that. But I think for now, that probably covers what we wanted to cover.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
All right, you're looking at the end of the press conference there. Kevin Sexton, Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers. And
All right, it's official. It's official.
They are going on strike.
Long Island Railroad strike is happening. Long Island Railroad strike is happening.
Contributions from new employees, healthcare contributions came out of nowhere, became a factor.
Oh my goodness, folks. This is actually happening.
Is the sticking.
Oh my goodness.
Union members say they were willing to
folks
move, down a little bit, but there was still some distance between that.
I cannot believe this is actually happening right now.
Just couldn't find an answer to.
I don't know what to say. I mean, this is insane. Ignore my Instagram, but I just posted it on my Instagram right now. So there you have it. Strike is on. Strike is on. I cannot believe this is actually happening, folks. I am just incomplete. I am just beyond. I don't know what to say. I think what we can do right now, can we try to rewind that press conference for those just joining in? We're going to work on that right now, folks, because we're going to stay live to at least 12:30. We're going to at least stay live till 12:30, all right? So, I do have to go to sleep, obviously. That's a given. Let me see if I can rewind it. Okay, let's see. Can I get the strike? Can I get a only thing I can get you is channel 7. I'm just working on it. Yeah, just let me get that for you right now. I don't think I have anything other than channel 7, so let's just rewind that tape from channel 7 at the moment. We're going to work on that right now. At least y'all can hear, at least y'all can hear me. Because thank goodness I have a plan B here. Thank goodness, right? Oh man, imagine if I didn't have this plan where, you know, it'd be bad. Okay, let's just get the oh, hang on.
And
hang on here. General Lirr, the MTA chairman, just spoke. Okay. We do have a tape. We do have a tape for you. We do have a tape. Let's get it back. Let's rewind it. We do have a tape. Okay, so this is a master tape feed right now from WABC TV's YouTube channel. I am just putting it on from my Roku. I have my Roku hooked up to my HDMI capture card. So we're going to hear from the unions, and we're now going to hear from MTA Chairman General Lirr. So first, let's hear from the unions. I do apologize here.
As we are concerned, okay? Late in the 11th hour, the railroad decided to throw care contributions for new employees. As we are concerned, okay? Late in the 11th hour, the railroad decided to throw healthcare contributions for new employees, which was never discussed in bargaining. There were things that we had tried to talk about that they had previously discussed, and they flat out said they weren't interested. We were far apart at this point, and we feel it's unnecessary because we went through the process. 2 independent presidential emergency boards. This is something that the MTA Long Island Railroad chooses to ignore despite what the rest of the railroad industry relies upon. Okay, next month the Railway Labor Act will be 100 years old. This law is tried and true to our nation, and it serves our nation very well. However, and regrettably here, the MTA doesn't agree with that. With that, I'll take a couple of questions.
Yeah, but what's the sticking point right now?
Wages in the 4th year.
Is it the 5% that you're trying to still
We were negotiating. We were willing to move down a little bit, but there's a far distance. Again, when I say the Presidential Emergency Board, there was a recommendation, there was 2 recommendations, and they came down, they started at 3%, whereas the Presidential Emergency Board 253 was 4.5%, and 254 was 5%.
When do you go back to the negotiation table?
We have not scheduled another round. We do not know the duration of this strike at this time.
Kevin, what was the change that they wanted to make to the healthcare contributions, and can you tell me how far apart you were at the end?
Well, so how do you cost something like that out in the 11th hour? It's never been discussed. You know, we've been asking the railroad to negotiate now for some time. Our meeting after PB 254 issued its recommendation, our first meeting was on March 20th. And it took until after last month's board meeting to get an impromptu meeting with the company, all to arrange a date for a subsequent meeting. We met with the carrier several times over the last week and a half, but honestly, I don't believe that they were serious until yesterday. And again, we had to make up all that gap. We had to close that gap. Rather than starting at a place that was around the recommendations of the board, they started way, way lower, which is their right, but hence we're here talking to you all this morning.
And if I could add to that, Doug, to come in this last hour with such draconian cuts to new hires is really reckless. As it is, they have staffing issues and retention issues to begin with. So this does not encourage employment.
Did they make an offer that we heard that they had made another offer? Did they make an offer and then say, but if we give you this, we want concessions on health?
Well, I mean, there's always give and take in bargaining. We recognize that, and there was a lot of back and forth. But when you start at a place that disregards the recommendations of 6 arbitrators that are widely recognized in this industry, and you start way behind that, I mean, what kind of quid pro quo can you have?
What was their last offer?
I don't want to get into particulars at this time.
What do you want to say to riders?
We are truly sorry that we're in this situation. You know, these riders are our friends, our neighbors. They live in our communities. We understand the service that the Long Island Railroad provides this region. This is a truly unfortunate situation, but this is why you have to take collective bargaining seriously. We engaged a process. If you recall, this group requested 2 presidential emergency boards. Back in September, the Long Island Railroad was gearing up for a strike when the governor of New York State or the carrier, the MTA or Long Island Railroad, had the ability to exercise their authority. And again, in January, we requested the board. We did everything in our power to prevent this from occurring. We stayed here late in the game, but it just didn't close it. So, you know, we got to do what we got to do for now, and then give them some time to meet. Nick would like to say something.
I just want to say to our riders, like Kevin said, you know, we're sorry that it comes to this, but I want the riders to know. I want our employees to know. I want our members to know. I want New York to know that we did everything we possibly can do to get a deal done today. We've been camped out here at their headquarters, in their house, trying to get a deal done. I want the ridership to know that. We did everything in our power to get a deal done.
Are you worried that rider sentiment
Jeff, you want
is
to
not
jump in?
going to be on your side in this economy when other people are struggling and not getting 3, 4, 5% raises at the time that people are going to have sympathy for your plight?
So, you want to answer?
I think the average New Yorker can identify with our struggles as well. We're confident. You know, we have their support, and you know, every hardworking New Yorker goes through the struggles of inflation, and they understand that, and they appreciate that. So we're confident. Once again, though, we didn't want to come to this. These are people, our neighbors, people who live in our communities, but unfortunately, we're here, and it's the MTA's strike. It's MTA's management strike, not ours.
Kevin, you said that no talks were scheduled. Before we go any further, Bill, I wonder if you might want to tell people where picket lines are going to be in the morning, and we have some that are already set up. If you want to shoot some B-roll after this, or catch picket lines.
Picket lines are currently set up at Penn Station in Ronkonkoma, and they will be commencing at all our report locations at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Did the MTA make an effort to schedule talks for tomorrow?
No. The parties will be in contact. Would you like to say anything? Sean, would you like to say anything?
Like everyone else said, we've tried our best, you know, for our members, for the riding public. We thought we could get to an agreement. We were clear the whole way through what our issues were, what we wanted. There were no games on our part, but you know, the MTA and the Long Island Railroad were not willing to recognized that, and unfortunately, that's the position we're in tonight.
Yeah, I would just add that we're really frustrated. Yesterday we arrived early in the morning. It was all smiles and handshakes from their bargaining team. They kind of signaled to me that it was going to be a good day and we were going to get something done. Extremely frustrating that they barely moved, and this is where we are. Thank you.
One more question. You know, just so the public knows what we're talking about monetarily, you know, if you were able to get this pay increase, you know, what would the average salary for your workers end up being? Or what would the starting salary be?
I haven't factored that in at this time, to be quite honest with you.
Right. Well, let's say just your union.
Listen, I've been in a bargaining for 2 days straight with no windows. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. Please excuse me.
You don't know what your starting salary is?
Not when you compound in the 3-4 years, and we don't even have a fourth year negotiated yet. So I can't answer that question for you respectfully.
We have a press release that is being sent out. You probably have already received it in the last couple of minutes. If you haven't, I'd be happy to send it to you. But these guys have had a very long day. We'll be on the picket lines in the morning. And as I said, there are a couple that are already set up, or Gil said, including outside Penn Station, 33rd and 7th. But we'll have a lot more information to report in the morning today. But I think for now, that probably covers what's covered.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Too hard to get back on a stable financial footing after COVID to provide more and better service. And we absolutely refuse to make a deal that puts it on riders and taxpayers to fund outsized wage increases, which is far beyond what anyone else at the MTA is getting, and to fund those wage increases for folks who are already the highest paid railroad workers in the country. And they didn't answer the question, but their average wage is in the $136,000 range. That's what those folks who we just heard from are earning. We cannot and will not do a deal that shifts huge costs to our riders by forcing extra fare hikes. And we can't expect taxpayers to foot the bill either. They're already doing enough. It is no secret that the Long Island Railroad is by far the most subsidized operation at the MTA. And I strongly believe that the Long Island Railroad is a great place to have a job. We have great health benefits, great retirement benefits, and we have pensions of a kind that are no longer available to almost everybody in the private sector. And on top of all that, the workers at these unions who are going on strike get to feast on overtime. Feast. Because of those crazy work rules that we have been talking about, which they absolutely refuse to discuss at the bargaining table. I mean, that's a big point. Now, we agreed to put that aside for the moment, but it is shocking that they are representing that they are underpaid, given their history of gobbling up overtime. Now, listen, at the table this week, and especially today, we upped our proposals again and again and again, even as the other side reciprocated little or not at all. Our last offer literally gave the unions everything they said they had wanted in terms of pay, and in exactly the way they said they wanted it, but they rejected even that. Then, as a last effort to avoid a strike, we offered to conclude a contract just on the 3 years that we have already agreed on, and to pay them all the pay that they are owed because they've been out of contract for a couple of years. We were going to pay everything and then just send the last fourth year, which is still in dispute, to binding arbitration, and they rejected even that. For me, it became apparent that these unions always intended to strike, Their strategy is to inconvenience Long Islanders and try to force the MTA and the state to do a bad deal. That is unacceptable to Governor Hochul, to the MTA board, and to me. So here we are. I'll take the questions.
Mr. Chairman, they said
Wait a second.
that you guys brought up health contributions at the 11th hour, and that was very unfair.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what your intention was there and respond to it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not a secret. We have for several days been offering packages that exactly adhered to the amount of money that they say the PEB, the Presidential Emergency Board, entitled them to, 4.5%. But they kept telling us they wanted it in a different form. So in the end, we gave them the money, the wage increases, and dramatically dropped the lump sums. But to pay for those additional wage increases, we introduced a new concept, which is not unheard of at all, which is that the new workers who get, not folks who work there not now, not the folks they represent right now, but that the new workers should pay a reasonable portion of healthcare costs. You know what we proposed? Half of what an average state worker pays for their healthcare costs. That's what we proposed. It was a big effort on our part to give them more cash, to give them more wage increases, and also to be able to pay for it. They rejected that. We don't understand why.
When you say half of what an average state worker pays, do you mean an average worker in New York State or an average person who works for
a New York State worker? It's a good question. It was an average, what an average New York State worker pays in terms of how much they have to pay as a portion of healthcare, of the healthcare costs. We offered them a deal where the new workers, future hires, would pay a little bit more than the guys who are already on the job are paying, but it really represents only half what an average New York State worker has to pay for their health care costs. It was a good deal.
An employee of the state?
Yes.
Did they actually agree to 4.5%? Did they come down from their 5%?
No, in the end, they did, but they wouldn't accept anything. We offered everything that added up to 4.5. They had a different version of 4.5. In the end, we couldn't make a deal.
You said if you reduced the lump sums, did you up the percentage?
Yes, dramatically. Dramatically. You have to understand that, they inched their way down from 5. We came up from 3 to almost to 4.5 in a couple days. That was a significant move. And that was why we needed a new feature along the lines of the healthcare costs that I had just talked about.
But you didn't go to 4.5 on
we were just a hair under it, and for all intents and purposes, we were exactly there. It added up all the time to 4.5, but this time we gave it in the format that they wanted.
And you were willing to set that precedent even with the TWU contract just expired?
Yeah, but the key point is the whole package made sense vis-a-vis the MTA budget, and that's why getting a more reasonable contribution in the future, not today, but in the future for healthcare costs was so important. And we were trying to meet them, and importantly, what we offered would give 4.5% to every worker that they represent right now. It had no effect on anybody that they represent right now, and that's a key feature.
Anybody else?
When will you meet with them again?
Well, there's nothing planned right now, as you can imagine, when talks like this break off, but we'll see what happens in the good days to come.
How are you feeling?
It's been a long couple of days, but listen, the bottom line is we have spent years putting the MTA back together again. Better service, more safety, more service, fixing the system, and that has, and preserving financial stability and our ability to keep fare increases low, only 2% a year, and continue to provide more and better service. That is essential. We're not going to compromise that. That's why we couldn't cave into what apparently they wanted.
What's your level of concern about the community?
You decide.
What's your level of concern about what commuters may have to endure on Monday? Because it sounds like you guys are still very important.
No, listen, honestly, it's really up to them. We met them, as I've said a couple times, we met exactly what they said they wanted. So we don't think we're that far apart. I really want to be clear about that. But it's up to them how long the strike goes on. Really, it's their decision. We're not locking them out. They're deciding to go on strike. They're putting New Yorkers and Long Islanders especially through this, and we're hopeful that it'll be a short strike, but we have to see. It's not in our control right now.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.
All right, so again, it is official. The Long Island Railroad, for the first time since... Let me put my camera on. All right, so again, it is official. For the first time since 1994, the Long Island Railroad is on strike. Again, I don't know what else to say for the night. I'm just going to quickly go through the last of the comments. And I know a lot of people are not happy with the chairman this late at night, and I can understand that. And again, I'm going to get into a lot what I want to say tomorrow, because it is late at night. I want to do the podcast tomorrow. I want to do one every Saturday. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow. We're going to go more in depth on this tomorrow. So if you're new here, subscribe. Whenever Saturday will be posted, whenever I can do it. I'm hoping if I wake up at 8, I can record at 9. And then maybe it'll be up at 10 or 11, because I'm supposed to be going to... Believe it or not, I'm supposed to be going into Long Island tomorrow for a dog show in Oyster Bay. Thankfully, my dad is the one driving. But now with this strike, I don't know how bad traffic's going to be on the LIE nor the Northern State Parkway. So it is late at night. I think we're going to wrap this up, because last thing I need is for my computer to just be overwhelmed here. Okay? So thank you for watching. Have a good night. And good luck during the Long Island Railroad strike, because it's going to be... I don't even want to think what's going to happen on Monday. So, good night.